Hi there, this is Lacey Muckla from Lady Obscure Music Magazine. You're listening to Jason and Biv on According to Metal podcast.
It's time to give you some headlines. The metal news you need to know right now.
Sitting behind the news desk without pants, once again, it's time to discuss the latest news in the world of metal. And this is a band that we did a review on just recently. Of course, Emperor of Sand from Mastadon, their most recent album. And kind of mixed reviews from both Biv and myself. And one of the things I mentioned was that Brett Hines, who's, I shouldn't say the front man because they have four people who sing in the band, but one of the main members of the band is a classic rock and rockabilly fan and says, quote unquote, I fucking hate heavy metal, which we even said in the review didn't make a lot of sense because I'm not saying these guys are super heavy by any means, but they're a metal band. They write metal songs. So it was just weird that a frontman of Mastodon says that he fucking hates heavy metal, even though he kind of sort of writes songs that are heavy metal, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. But one of the standouts off of Emperor's Sin, to me, even though it was very different, was Show Yourself. And that was a song that was played on Jimmy Kimmel. Again, Mastodon has kind of accomplished some sort of mainstream likability, if you will. But some hardcore Mastodon fans, hear the song Show Yourself, and they lose their minds over it because, let's be real. It sounds very radio rockish. If there's a local rock radio station in your town, they're probably going to play that song. And so if you're a hardcore Mastodon fan and you go way back to Leviathan and Crack the Sky, you hear Show Yourself and you go, what the fuck is this? Where to me, I actually liked it quite a bit. It was catchy, it was kind of hooky, it wasn't very metal, but that's okay. It was actually a good song to me. Well, it sounds like if you're an old Mastodon fan and you have an issue with Show Yourself, well, Bill Kelleher, who's also in the band, who's the other guitar player, states that neither he or the rest of the band give a shit what you think. And this is quote unquote what he said. He said, the cool thing about our band is we've always been able to play what we want to play. We never signed a contract that said we were going to be a heavy metal band or a death metal band or a crust punk band for the rest of our lives. Our fucking fans are nuts. They pick apart every fucking note, every fucking word, who's singing what, why this song doesn't sound like the last song, why this song sucks because it's different. I'm always trying to come up with different riffs and ideas and songs to impress Troy, Brent, and Bran. I'm not going to try to go out there and impress Joe Blow on Facebook. I don't give a shit. That's what keeps us going. It's funny when I read these comments on the internet of people saying we sold out by playing songs like Show Yourself. Who the fuck are you? What do you mean we sold out? I'll play whatever music I want to play. I'll put out a goddamn pop record if I want to. I don't have to record anybody, or I don't have to answer to anybody but my bandmates and my wife. So, very inflammatory. And you echo that with Brent, who says he fucking hates heavy metal. And then you have the other guitar player who says, you know what, I don't give a fuck what the fans think. They can kiss my ass. And while I feel there's a level of truth to what he's saying, I don't know. There's such a thing called tact. And I don't know if that shows any level of respect for your fans whatsoever. It basically says you can go fuck yourselves. And I don't know what to think about that other than it's ballsy, but be careful who you're pissing off,
Well, it's raw truth. You see, as a band, an unsigned band in particular, you are an entrepreneur, right? Let's face it, you're in business with your brand that you're building up to sell product or services, like a live show. That's what you are. And so you make the decisions, and you have the freedom to make the decisions on what you put out, what shows you do, where you tour, where you don't tour. That's the freedom of not signing with anyone. So there's absolute truth in what he says. The flip side of that is, are you willing to piss off your fan base like that article will do, to the point where they're like, you know what, fuck you then. There's plenty of bands in your genre we can go listen to. Plenty. So, if you want to take your brand and flush it down the toilet into pop rock or whatever it is you want to do, that's fine. You can do that. But we're going to make a decision not to come see you live or not to buy your CDs. And that's a decision that they'll make, and that's a decision he'll make on what they want to put out. So, is it truthful? Yes. And honesty is always the best policy. However, that doesn't mean just because somebody sticks a microphone in front of your face, that doesn't mean it's smart to say something.
Well, he actually goes on to say, there's people that follow the Mastadon Facebook page and then they talk shit. Are you just trying to be cool? I think of a pimply-faced 14-year-old in his underpants sitting on his computer. Where's your band that you've had for 17 years? Where are your 3-time Grammy loser certificates? I mean...
Hey, look, I don't have to have cancer. No cancer sucks. I don't. So when I hear bad music, or music I don't expect from you, because it's in a totally different genre than the brand you built, fuck off. I don't have to make the decision to buy it or to go see you live.
And do you have an obligation, if you are a fan of the band, to let them know, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing?
I think that's feedback. Now,
I mean, don't you want that?
There are trolls. There's going to be trolls on anything you do. However, when you see and hear that enough, that's when it's time to pause and think about what you're doing and where you're at.
Yeah, I just found it to be a level of truth, but also just kind of no-fly zone on that one, too. Like, I don't know how you win with that comment. Other than the fact that maybe your bandmates go, yeah, dude, fuck those people. That's great. You know what I mean? But I don't know how most people don't read that either going, oh, shit. And if you read some of the comments, based on what he said, they, a lot of people who either listen to Mastodon or don't are just like,
didn't we have the same situation like 3 months ago? We had the same situation with In Flames.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and but here's the thing. In fairness to the band, to Mastodon, I have never, if I got a chance, and well, here's the thing. That's a great point. Let me tell you, quickly, my thoughts on In Flames. And again, I don't need to beat a dead horse. One of my favorite bands of all time. Their sound in the Horacle Colony Clayman days was, oh my God, still, I can listen to those albums. They're timeless. They're so fucking good. And for a better amount of a decade almost, they've been bad and uninspired and boring and shitty. Now, have I ever gone on their Facebook page and said, you guys fucking suck? No, I haven't. Have I ever gone, and put comments all over their YouTube videos and saying, you guys are shitty, why don't you write episode 666 again? That kind of stuff. Like, I've never done any of that. I'm the silent one who goes, that's fine. You do whatever you want. You continue to make albums like A Sense of Purpose and Siren Charms all you want to.
You're so silent you have a podcast.
Well, true. No, well, good point. But, then, if they hear this, so they can hear me say, and now if I ever did go see them live, one of the reasons why I don't go see them live is because of what I'm saying right now. Like, if half of your show is going to be new stuff, I have no interest in listening to it. I don't want to go there. No offense. Money's money's a finite item. There's not tons of it. So I'm going to spend my money on concerts I want to go see of bands I want to listen to their music, and I just don't want to listen to this. Sorry. Tough shit. But if I ever were to see them in person, I would say, hey, I got to level with you. I don't like the shit you do nowadays. Now, I'm not going to sit behind a keyboard in my underwear and go, you guys fucking suck. But I do feel, as a fan, you have the right to say, look, man, I don't like what you guys are doing. Now, the band has the right to tell you to fuck off, and they can.
Sure.
But,
That
if
means
enough
smart,
people are
they can.
all saying, dude, I love you guys, but what are you guys doing? Same thing with Opeth, dude. I mean, Opeth can kiss my ass, but they're terrible now. Terrible. I won't listen or buy any of their stuff ever again if this is what they continue to do. But it sucks because there's still a special place in my heart and wanting them to be good. So I still listen to their stuff, and then I'm disappointed. Mastodon fans are going to do the same thing,
Oh, I totally agree. This is one of those situations where if they keep doing the same thing over and over again, we go, gosh, you're just like you have Def Leppard syndrome. Every album sounds the same.
Yeah. And that's the thing,
But
is
then,
you can't, I ripped on Airborne for the same reason. Remember?
Yep.
I was
Yep,
just like,
you
oh,
did.
wow, it's another AC/DC sounding like album. I haven't heard this one before.
But then, using Def Leppard as a test case, if they'd come out with an album like Slang, the public rips on them because, well, this isn't Def Leppard. This isn't what we expected from you. It's horrible. When, quite frankly, it was probably one of the best CDs they've ever put out. But it all goes back to that set of expectations that we have. We have a set of expectations with, whoever we're a fanboy of. We just do. And I don't have a special place in my heart for them. But, I understand where you're coming from. When you've been a fan of a band that long, and you really, expect a certain criteria, and you don't get it, and you get whatever it is they're trying to do now, which I've listened to it, and it's bad, I have to agree with you. At some point, you just stop anticipating those release dates. We used to get so excited about, oh, gosh, such and such is coming out on this date, and I can't wait. You just don't anymore.
Yeah.
And
But here's the thing. There's those bands that you'll always be invested in, whether you want to be or not. Like, Dream Theater could be playing death metal right now, and you are kidding yourself, Biv, if they have an album that comes out next month that you don't check out. Because it's Dream Theater. You know what I mean? For you.
Well,
You're just going to say, oh, God damn it, maybe, just maybe, it's Images and Words Part 2, and that would be awesome. You know what I mean?
well,
There's that part of you who has that thought. I guarantee it. Same with Savatage. If Savatage ever made another album again, even if, it was top 40 radio rock, you'd say, dude, but it's Savatage. I got to check it out.
well, to your point, Sabotage I would, because they never made a bad album. Dream Theater, in my opinion, because I'm so far removed from the glory days. I'm 17 years removed from when I thought, just the change took place. Quite frankly, if we had not done the radio show, The Astonishing, I wouldn't have listened to probably until it had been out 2 months.
Really?
Nah, I stopped paying attention to them a long time ago. Because they put out so many, in my opinion, bad albums. Not who they were, not what I expected. Jordan Rudess just kind of changed everything to me. So, I guess, to your point, it depends on where you're at with that band. Now, Sabotage, they haven't put out a new CD since 1998. Almost 20 years. Yeah, on the release date, I'd be at the CD store, if there still is one. Or I'd have it, sent to my house. But, quite frankly, they're an entrepreneur. They have a right to say what they said. I don't necessarily agree with what they said. And I think they're going to piss off a lot of their fans that buy their merchandise, whether it's CDs or T-shirts or whatever it is, and go see their shows. But, technically, are they right? Yes. Are they smart for saying it? No.
I agree. What do you guys think on this one? I mean, and especially for those of you who are in bands yourselves, we know you write music for yourself. You write music that you feel, that you're passionate about, that you like, that you dig, that your band digs. Totally get it. But the fans have to play a role in it. And do you write music? I see so many bands saying, we write music for us, and that's it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. But if it's just not any damn good, at least if all of your fans seem to not like what you do, is it worth it? 5 guys dig it. That's great. Everyone else thinks it sucks. I hope it's worth it.